everybody. Welcome to Boss Rush Podcast. I am your host, the one, the only, that retro code, Eddie V. Yes, I'm so hyped. We got a lot to discuss. Of course, joining me is the one, the only, the streaming champion, Mr. Ray Apollo. Yes.
Just the quick wave and the hello.
Right. And of course, the saluting one, Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick.
Hello. I'm feeling extra cute today. Thank you.
Well, you are cute.
I am.
see that
I shaved,
the exciting announcements that we get to talk about regarding things that start with the letter
We got
X.
a bunch of extra stuff to talk about that we weren't sure we were going to get to talk about this week.
Everybody, Corey's baby.
Those Game Awards were extraordinary, I would say.
We will get to that later. Hold on. Everybody hold their stuff. Of course, Rice, Wisconsin, I could have joined us, Mr. Jesse Douglas. He is hanging out, relaxing, and, getting some good sushi. And he better tell me which sushi he got, or we're going to fight. We're going
to talk about something new, and he just skedaddles.
Oh, Jesse has thoughts. Sir
no,
Douglas
they don't
has
count.
thoughts.
He's not here. They don't count. Not here.
He has thoughts, and
Or
I
is
cannot
kind of
wait.
right.
Gotta get sushi with my friends. No,
His homies.
no.
I would pick sushi too, but I love you guys. So
We should just have
Wow.
sushi on the podcast.
I would love that, by the way.
Can we do that next podcast?
I mean,
Sure.
I'm not going to say no.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you going to say no? I'm not going to say no.
Well, I'm live close to a grocery store, so I could buy some sushi. Come back in.
I'm just saying the sushi place by our house has half-price sushi Monday through Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. So,
Oh, so you're gonna buy it on Thursday and save it till Saturday? Wow.
I mean, you can.
No,
just
he's
put-
going.
You can't
I'm
take.
kidding.
It sucks though because you can't take it home with you. So, yeah.
What?
If you want to take it home with you, you have to pay full price.
Okay.
Well, everybody, let's get into some housekeeping before we get
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
to going on. You can find us on Twitter at Boss Rush Games. You can find us on Twitter at Boss_Rush_Games. You can find us on Instagram at Boss Rush Games and on Facebook at Facebook.com/Boss Rush Games. We also have a Facebook community page, and you can email the show at BossRushGamesPro@gmail.com. We want to hear you guys' thoughts, your questions, how you feel about the show, responses, your reactions. Anything that's on your mind about Boss Rush Games, the podcast, or just gaming in general, we would love to have what you guys want to say to us. What's your opinion? Help us be better and help us play games together. So, before we get into the crazy announcements and stuff that happened this week, we're going to get into some quick gaming get downs because there's just so much to cover. So, I'm going to start with you, boss man.
All this news that happened this week, and it's the week that I picked to play the most games and beat the most games that I've beaten all year.
Wow. It's all come up to this.
Yeah,
Yes.
So, you're starting with me, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Go.
I finished Jedi Fallen Order.
Yay.
I'm
Yay.
so glad that ending was not spoiled for me. Like,
I'm also very happy.
I
You
can-
said that to me. I was like, hey, God.
I know. When I finished that game, I was like, I went and watched the trailer, like that everybody was talking about. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like really in there.
Yep.
And
They make it like a main thing, like it's a thing in the game. And I'm like, stop it.
I know.
It's rude.
I know, and I'm just like, I'm so glad that ending wasn't ruined for me. And I probably, usually when stuff gets spoiled for me, I've kind of just taken it and been like, okay, I'm gonna get spoiled probably because with a 1-year-old, you don't like movies, especially. You're like, well, probably not gonna see that. Like I know Star Wars comes out on Friday, and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna see that on day one, and it'll be spoiled for me when I'm pooping the next day on the toilet, scrolling through Twitter. That's how.
Worst place to.
That's how. Let's see, what movie was it? Something got spoiled for me when I was. Infinity War got spoiled for me when I was.
yikes.
let's see, I think a lot of people went and saw it that Thursday, and I got up for work on Friday, and I the first thing I opened up Facebook or Twitter or something, and literally the first post was a spoiler for the movie. I'm like, really? So, but yeah, man, Jedi Fallen Order. I know it's probably not the mechanically the best game that came out this year, or like the most polished game, but it might be one of my favorite games. It's definitely one of my favorite games. It might be my favorite game this year. It was so much fun, and I've gone back, and it like after the game finishes, it like pops you back out to before the ending, so you can go do finish up stuff, which is nice. So I finished that. I finally beat Fire Emblem this week also.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else did you play as, by the way?
Black Eagles.
Oh, okay.
I was feeling so many things, because I played that final battle like 4 times because I was trying to get through it without dying, and I would get through like a lot of it, and then 2 or 3 of my squad would die. I'm like, nah, gotta restart, and that's after I used my divine powers to rewind several times.
Oh.
So
I didn't use power nearly as much as I should have.
What? You didn't use it as?
I didn't use it nearly as much as I should. I used it like every once in a while. I would use it, like when somebody would drop it, and be like, okay, that was a mistake. But then the game was ready, and be like, haha, we knew you do that.
I mean, I played so much Fire Emblem over the last like decade that like it just didn't occur to me to use it a lot. I would restart, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you can reset or rewind a little bit. But I had so many thoughts throughout the end, like the second half of that game, because you spend the first half of that game like really diving deep into their friendships and like their relationships, even with the other houses, right? Mm-hmm. And like going through the second half of that game, you just feel like this weird sadness, like it was just like this weird sadness. And I know like a lot of people don't play Fire Emblem for the story; they just want to play paper doll dress up and the strategy.
Playing it for the story because they have fantastic stories.
Oh, I know, I do.
Yeah.
I hope they do too. But like, I just I felt like a really weird sadness throughout the whole second half of that game, which kind of made me put it down a little bit. And like, I would play through one battle and then put it down because like, I mean, you're going through the second half of that game because you're fighting your friends on what you believe in, and like there's consequences to that, and it just really had this sadness to it. But I think that's when the game kind of shows strong narrative, when it emotionally impacts you, whether it's good or bad. Yeah.
And by the way that it seems with this Fire Emblem, like this may be the most engaging and connecting story out of all the Fire Emblem games, because you literally feel for your people and your choices and stuff, knowing that certain things are going to really happen to them in a narrative sense that you cannot change.
Yeah, and it was kind of sad to like see that, because you learn to like, even if you're like, you choose the house, like you choose your house at the very beginning, and it's like, okay, well, I'm choosing this, but I can still go around and talk to all these people, and like you can try to recruit some of them and whatever, and you learn what these characters are into, and like their friendships and their relationships with each other, and what they believe in and what they don't believe in and stuff. And then it's just sad because you feel like you've made like you're literally like killing friendships, and it's just sad. But that final battle was pretty long. I think it took me like an hour and 10 minutes to do correctly the last time, and yeah, it was pretty satisfying. I really enjoyed it, and I know that DLC is coming out in the spring, so the story DLC, I think, for the season pass. So I hope it's a continuation, because not to spoil anything, but they do kind of leave it open a little bit, I feel like.
Well, from what I've heard, you really do need to play all 3 endings.
Oh, really?
From what I've heard, yeah. The story completes itself a little bit more with each ending.
Oh.
And so, yeah. It's
well, there's
another
fun.
100 plus.
actually there's
hours.
4 endings to be honest with you.
That's right. There's a sequel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but I might pick it up next year, like as like a quote unquote vacation game or whatever, where like, I'll take it on vacation, play a little bit, and I'll choose a different house or, choose the secret ending through the same house or whatever. Like I do want to see all the endings or whatever, but I put like 60 something hours into that campaign, man. I don't know if I have 120 more hours to play through.
I put like 100 hours in that game easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's
And that was one playthrough.
yeah.
So,
I mean, you can do that. It's just, oof. I wish I would have put more time into it, honestly, because I really felt underpowered going into that last battle.
so that's why I put more time into it. Because I went into that last battle. It felt like adequate, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was still like, I couldn't go,
Challenging.
some of them I couldn't just rush in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna send you here, you here, you here. Nope. It's like 2 people versus like 1 unit each time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is better, but not great.
Yeah. So, I was like high 40s and I felt inadequate, like levels wise.
Like,
And I was like, oh man, even like my strongest characters, I think I had 2 characters at level 50. And I was like, oh man, I feel so underleveled. So,
yeah, I think I made sure everybody was a minimum of 50.
Yeah.
And then I think the main character, he was at like 65.
yeah.
So it's like, okay, we should be all right. But even then, it was still like,
Challenging.
yeah.
Yeah. So I did finish that, and I'm happy that I saw it through because, I just spent so much time with that game, and it felt good to finally finish it. I also started playing Control again.
Good. I just started that too. Yay.
I'm about an hour.
Did you get the free DLC?
No, I have not downloaded.
I don't know. I didn't download any updates or anything, but I'm sure you have to go through the store and get it.
Updated, maybe. I think.
Yeah.
It's
a free update for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
maybe
story.
it automatically updated in the background because I have automatic updates on. So
Okay.
maybe it did that. I don't know. I did start a new game because I was like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't really know what to, because I started it so long ago, and I'm like, well, I want to play through.
That's like if you pick it up and you put it down for a long time, I could feel like you could be really lost going back to it.
I picked it up and then I started playing it, and then Destiny came out. I think when I bought it, and I was like, well, I'm going to play through some Destiny, and then I just got sidetracked and moved and started working a lot more and played Star Wars and tried to finish Fire Emblem. So I figured out why I didn't like it the first time. I was like, why doesn't this feel kind of responsive? Why does it feel weird? Why does the camera feel like it's swinging a little bit more than it should? Film grain and motion blur do a lot. And I turned it off. And now the game feels... I don't know what it is. It just felt way better after I turned it off.
Really?
Yeah. And
Interesting.
it feels like it's running at a higher frame rate. It feels more responsive. It feels like coming out of the pause menu, it doesn't feel like it's loading, or it doesn't feel like it's like stuttering that much anymore. Like, and I know they made a couple updates to it too since I've played it, but like it just feels a lot more responsive since I turned the motion blur and the film grain off. So, and I'm actually enjoying it way more than I did the first time. So, so I've been playing that. I'm enjoying it. And then I played a little bit of After Party. And like I played like maybe 45 minutes of it, and just those types of games just aren't for me, man. I tried. I was like, I really want to play this because everybody's talking about it. I know these kinds of conversational games aren't really my thing, but I'm going to give it a shot. And I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So I didn't really care for Oxenfree either, though. So, and I know that's the same studio. It has a
totally
totally different vibe than Oxenfree. But
same style of gameplay, though.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I played that, and then the last thing was what was the last thing I played? Ed, what did I tell you I played earlier this week on Power Block?
Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, Luigi's Mansion I played a little bit of. And I love the way that game looks. I don't like the controls at all. I hate the controls, man. And you know, it's one of those games that you really have to sit and like. This is going to be the only game I play until I finish it, just so I can get used to these controls. And that is not where I'm at right now. I want to play a bunch of other games for Game of the Year. I just downloaded DMC 5. I downloaded Remnant, which I still want to play. I downloaded a couple other things I still need to power through. So I still need to finish the Outer Worlds. So it kind of feels like Luigi's Mansion might be sitting on the back burner for a minute until, you know, at least after we have our Game of the Year discussions. But I mean, I like the way that game looks. I love Toad driving the bus at the beginning. It's hilarious. It's ridiculous. I like the ghost dog thing, but like as soon as you get to that first scene where you like get the flashlight and you start walking around the bedroom, I'm like, oh no. Was my first thought. You know?
Yeah.
And like it feels like this weird mix of like it feels like it wants to be a twin stick shooter, but it also feels like it wants to have some sort of like old school feel, like the old Resident Evils and stuff. Like,
which,
yeah, I'm just like, oh, I don't. Why can't I just like, if I press left, why doesn't Luigi just go left? You know, like if he's facing the screen, he goes right. I'm like, why can't I just go left? So,
yes, that's the one issue that I also have with that game. Is how
Kristen Teigen is playing it now, and she posted a comment that one of the piano boss, and she hates. She's just like, I don't have any. She said she didn't have any trouble beating him. She just hates him because it was difficult.
Oh well, probably because of the controls. I'll be very honest.
But that's all I've been playing. I'm just very proud of myself that I finished 2 games this week, which is 2 more than I finished the rest of the year. So,
and Ray, I had to give him Yoshi coins for the NX challenge because he beat 2 games. Even though they're not supposed to count, I'm just like, no, I'm gonna give you like 8 points.
What do you mean they don't count? I finished 2 games.
No, I said that's what I said. Because the rule was anything that's 2019 doesn't count. What? Anything 2018 and back counts. Oh, well. It was supposed to be for the backlog challenge. Those games are not backlog.
Yeah, I forgot. Whatever. Shut
up. And Ray, before you say anything to try to contradict this, to be like, but if it's a game that I bought a few months ago, then I was just playing it. Does that consider as backlog?
I'm not saying it. You're answering your own question.
No, that's why I said I had to stop you before you just be like, I could use this excuse and get away with it.
No.
I also played the first level of King of Cards, the Shovel Knight DLC, and it's definitely more Shovel Knight, and I'm enjoying it. So he has this like weird dash move, and you know, in the first level of the Shovel Knight campaign, where you jump on the bubbles with your shovel to bounce across. Yeah. Well, you have to do this weird like dash move into them, or the bubbles like kill you. So it's I've had to get used to some new mechanics, but it's definitely more Shovel Knight, and it's definitely awesome. So if you already own Shovel Knight, the Treasure Trove package, you already have it. So just download the update. But yeah, King of Cards is something I'm going to be playing a lot. So.
Yes.
But that's all I've been playing, I think. I played a lot this week. Told you.
So, I ain't going to go next, Ray, if you don't mind. I don't know if I said this, but I did beat Sunset Overdrive, but I'm going to actually go with Switch. Of course, playing Pokemon Virtue Fiddle Episode 2.
Wait, what?
Was playing Blazing Chrome a little bit more. Getting through that game, learning it. Like I'm learning the fact that it's kicking my tail because it's just like I need the memorization of this game and I need to work on it. So I played that. Ray, you will be happy. I have pre-purchased Divinity Original Sin 2 for Switch. So that is going to be coming. Yes,
I pre-purchased Oddworld. So
I mean, I guess that's okay.
That's the only game you need.
Showing everybody that I have the amiibo.
I just see the reflection of mine and Ray's face on the screen.
Oh,
I might need that gold Shovel Knight, by the way. I might need that.
And then I got the Treasure Trove collection, which was hard to find, and some garbage for me to just dive into. It was only $16.
Only $16.
Yes.
Well spent.
I played. I started some of my games that I bought from Black Friday on PlayStation. Ukulele and Impossible Lair is really good. I'm mad at the fact that I couldn't get it for Switch because now all the stores got it for Switch. It was sold out. But really enjoyed this game. It's really fun. I think it's a great platformer. And it's going to be fun getting into that. Started up Judgment for place of by Sega. Really great soundtrack, and I'm really digging this game. I can't wait to play more of it. And I also started up Concrete Genie. Not loving the fact that I gotta paint everything with my PlayStation controller on the way it does it. It really kind of feels like they designed this definitely for the Move and PSVR, and the controller and the Move feels disconnected. Like if you have a Move, you'll be able to paint and get this and play around with it, because you got to move the whole PlayStation controller in order to do the painting. It feels very off. So it's just like this. You guys could have simplified this to Okami control, and it would have felt perfect. But really, I'm gonna really dig into that game. With that, so that's kind of what I've been playing that I started on PlayStation. For Xbox, also started up Control, playing a little bit of that. This is another game that this is pretty much Max Payne, but featuring a female, because you are forced to move around.
I feel like it's way more Quantum Break than way more.
Quantum Break and look game shooting and running is more Max Payne. Only reason I say Max Payne is only reason why I say Max Payne, it doesn't have to slow down or anything. It's that you constantly got to be moving, and then Max Payne you constantly got to be moving. Like there is no
all the time in Quantum Break. Let me tell you, well, you died a lot, including in that last boss fight, which was terrible, by the way. But that's okay. Go on.
I think I died once in the last boss of Quantum Break, and then when I did the second time, it wasn't that bad. I was able to get through it.
I played on the hardest difficulty, and it was the worst thing ever.
I played it on normal, so that's probably why.
Worst thing ever. Like one hit kills constantly. It was dumb. But sorry, that was so stubborn for me, obviously. So yeah.
But you know what? A lot of people complain about that boss fight, like in Quantum Break. And they just felt like on any difficulty that you play, it was just terrible.
It was not well designed. I was like, absolutely not. So I hope that they fixed that a tiny bit in Control so far. But yeah, I feel like I'm absolutely going to run into a boss that's similar. I can already feel it. I can feel it. And
I can feel it.
But I will
absolutely though.
But I will say that it looks beautiful. It plays well. I think, and I made a statement on this on Twitter. I'm just like, I think this is the year of red in games, like color wise, because like if you look at Control, and you just look on how monotone it is when it's monotone and the red plays on it, it looks beautiful. And the same thing happened with the Last of 2 trailer, where there was one section that they're like, it looks like they're in a cave, and there's this red light that's emitting from it, and I was just like, this is very Japanese, and the way y'all playing with this red lighting in games looks wonderful. And I don't know if people didn't pick that up this year. I'm like, this looks good for some reason. So can't wait to play more of Control. Started up Modern Warfare. Me and Jesse talked about it. I kind of still have my problems of just being shot from different places, and then you try to look to find that person, you can't see it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that way. But production value wise, it really looks good. The shooting and everything is fun. It's just that when you don't get a chance to really find out who's shooting you, because they do 4 or 5 shots and you dead, it gets unfair a little bit, and it makes you want to replay all of these sections. I think once you see enemies and you're like, really having a battle and everything, it feels good. It feels very challenging, and it feels right. But when it just feels like 5 people are shooting you from different places, and you try to turn around and find them, and you still get a shot and get a kill, it feels unfair that you got to do it over and over and over again. So, but I'm going to stick
Call of Duty to me. So,
yeah, because I even started not Modern Warfare, World War II. Ended up playing that one too. It's okay. It feels like a game that a side team at EA did. That like this is trying to be DICE, but it's like spin the wheel, and I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. But I'll give it a try. Play Outer World, the Outer Worlds. That's fine. It's a good game. Mm-hmm. Didn't dig too much into it yet, so I can't be like, oh wow, this is Mass Effect meets Fallout. I can't really judge anything that.
You said it exactly right, and you'll feel that way throughout the entire playthrough. It's a good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
So, picked up a Plague's Tale Innocent, but I haven't started it yet. So I like I said, I heard great things about this. They said the story is like really good, so can't really wait to get into that. But overall, that's pretty much what I've played. Oh, also played Strider because I was just waiting. Oh, and Borderlands 3. Not really feeling it. Not really feeling Borderlands 3. It's a cool game, but it's nothing to have that press conference and for Nintendo to get snubbed about. But that's Gearbox. And
I still stand by my opinion that if they had put Borderlands 3 on the Switch, it would have done far and away much better than it did.
Yeah. So,
I'm kind of surprised that they never put like even the Game of the Year edition of 1 on Switch when it came out.
We all know that Gearbox doesn't like money, so.
Randy Pitchford's too busy doing magic tricks and going to medieval times. Am I right?
Right. and leaving tapes all around for no apparent reason.
That's you would think that was something that they would have done. I would have tried to get Borderlands 1 and 2 on Switch with the quickness.
I'm sure that girl on that flash drive is a nice lady.
Yikes!
She's a dancer with tricks.
It's magical.
Very educated. It's
okay then. I'm sure. Yeah.
What kind of magic does she do?
It's the kind that you can't do in front of your mom. Anyway, what else is happening? I play video games too.
Yeah,
and
that's not true.
So that's what I ended up playing. So yeah, I'm gonna start with Modern Warfare and try to finish that by Tuesday, and then start going through my backlog because I think I'll be ready for Game of the Year. I don't know if I'm missing anything.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm so ill prepared for Game of the Year discussions this year that
I mean, when it comes to Game of the Year, it's just the games you should play. I do not think you have to play every game to have input and discussion.
I don't either, but when you've played as little games that came out this year as I did, I need to play something.
But still, that's going to resonate with people who also don't have as much time as you do. Like that's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
And so I don't want you to beat yourself up because you already sound like you're disappointed in yourself for not playing as many games as you think you should have.
No, I was just...
It ain't got to work like that.
It was just a busy year. And
exactly.
Trying to going through a bunch of stuff and managing a bunch of different projects and,
Yes.
But you played what you played and you enjoyed what you played for the most part.
That's fair.
And so you can talk about that stuff and be excited about it.
Hey guys, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is going to be my game of the year for the second year in a row.
That's a shame.
Guess what? Divinity Original Sin 2 is going to be my game of the year, so get ready for it right now.
Why do I feel like I'm the only one that played like a whole bunch of games
because and beat a whole bunch of games?
And you do know that I play games for a living. I played a ton of games this year. Thanks.
I know what you say, Corey.
I said you're the only one that like has the time to play them besides like Ray, but Ray's trying to entertain people and you're just playing them because
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. Game of the Year is going to be interesting this year because I'll be very honest. 2019 was not super great compared to other years. Decent year, but not super great, honestly. So,
I mean, there's a lot of like 9s and 9.5s as opposed to like, I mean, clearly everybody last year was fighting over God of War, Red Dead, right? Like,
absolutely.
I feel like, and like this year there was none of that. You know, there wasn't that clear like, oh, this is going to be my game of the year, or this is going to be.
I mean, well, when we get into what the Game Awards, and what won, that'll be exactly.
But like I said, I feel like Nintendo won this year over everybody else.
I think they had the most output for sure.
I'm not saying I won't. I don't agree with that. I think Nintendo did well this year, but they didn't do as well as they've done in the past years.
I think because of how strong Astral Chain and Fire Emblem was, I don't think there's many games that touched it on the level of when it comes to first and third party from consoles. Not talking about indies or anything like that. When it comes to first and third party games that were hyped up in a sense, didn't succeed well. Where Fire Emblem and Astral Chain, definitely Astral Chain, because that was a new IP that nobody didn't even know Platinum and Nintendo was working on, and it came out and it. Not saying that the numbers were big or anything, but it was a strong IP that just like really people, even though they review bomb, pretty would have been maybe like a 94, 95. It was up there higher.
I will say you are entitled to that opinion. Those games are very good games, but they did not perform well. They didn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of games. Well, that's why I said selling wise, they didn't do well. Which is fine, even though we gotta give it props that they are only on one console compared to other games that have been on two consoles.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people's favorite game of the year didn't even hit MPD and Control. So, I mean,
Control had a whole issue on its own, but
yeah,
it's true. Like it's a great game, but I mean, also think about the games. Well, we'll get into that soon.
Yeah, let's
see them, for example.
Yeah. So Ray, go ahead, Ray.
Didn't do a lot. So for me, I've been playing a few things. I also started Control on Xbox. I started Ace Combat 7 on Xbox. Ace Combat 7 is actually way better than it has any right to be.
Did it come out this year?
It did come out early this year. Very good game. And I love Ace Combat.
No one talked about that game.
I just don't think as many people play Ace Combat as they used to. Like Ace Combat used to be awesome. And this game is a continuation on that. It's good. I like it. What else did I play? I've played Pokemon Sword and Shield. Still playing that. I'm also playing, I think it's My Hero One Justice on Switch. I'm playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid on Switch. Went back into Xenoverse 2 on Switch randomly.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm playing Sayonara Wild Hearts on my phone because I really like that game. That game should have got way more awards than it did.
I need to play more of it on Switch. I really love that music on there.
What else am I playing? I'm playing Divinity Original Sin on PC for myself. And then I think that's mostly it. I know that sounds like a lot too.
Did you beat both of them, 1 and 2, or you just only bought?
I never finished 1, and that's why I'm going back and playing it on my own.
Okay,
playing it on PC, but I finished 2.
Because I have 1 on my Xbox, but I need to play more of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but then a fun thing that we'll talk about later. I re-downloaded Anthem. We'll see how this goes.
I also re-downloaded Anthem.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. But yeah,
I should smack both of y'all.
You know where I live.
Downloaded Anthem.
But yeah, no, I re-downloaded Anthem. I want to see the state of Anthem at the end of 2019 and the potential for it going forward, because that game could be good, but I feel like it's dead. I don't think this rumor of a version 2, I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think it's going to get a Realm Reborn?
I really don't think so.
I think that's when I'll reinstall Anthem, because like I said, I played it, beat it. It was great for what it was. Some missions didn't care for it. Story was whatever. But like I finished it, had my fun, and took it off my system. Like I wasn't distraught like everybody else.
I think you're the only one that finished it. I don't
That's
like
what I'm
all of us.
I was.
Yeah.
That and the Division 2.
Oh, I actually just repicked that up as well, and we'll be playing that the month of January. So,
Nice. Anything else exciting? Did you drop your Switch on your toe like I did this morning, and the Joy-Con popped off, and I thought I broke my Switch?
Oh no!
Yeah,
the knuckles too strong. That's what.
yeah,
But
that's a pre-show joke.
I try not to drop my Switch. I mean, that's why
I didn't mean to drop my Switch. I was looking for my headphones, and I was playing it in bed.
I'm mad at you.
I was playing my Switch in bed last night, and I had my headphones in.
Oh, I was about to say, how did it end up at your feet if you were? Never mind.
No, and then I set it on my nightstand, and then I was looking for my headphones earlier to do the show, and I forgot they were plugged into my Switch. So I grabbed it, and my headphones were still attached, and my Switch went whoop, and then it hung for a second off my headphones, and then it unplugged itself and hit my toe, and then the Joy-Con came off, and I was like, oh no!
Yep.
So far, it seems all right.
Yes,
seems all right.
Success.
There's a crack in the tempered glass
protector. Oh well, good. That's why we use tempered glass. Good job.
Yeah. So, but that's all right. We're good.
The strength of the Nintendo Switch. Yes.
No, strength of my toe knuckle.
No. Enrage us.
What if I just took a picture of my toe and made it the thumbnail of this episode with the Boss Rush logo over it?
We're trying to keep.
I'm gonna report this. I'm gonna report this episode.
To who?
Report it to the authorities. This post right here, officer. No.
It's all right. We're not posting this on the website. You have to check a box that says you're 18 or over to watch this episode. So.
Oh, this one's an OnlyFans exclusive. I didn't know.
And we're going to move on. So, everybody, let's get into some news bits. What a week. So, started on Tuesday morning, we had the State of Play.
I forgot we were talking about that today, too.
State of Play, we got Untitled Goose Game coming out December 17th. Spellbreak, Dreams. They show Paper Beast, Subliminal, Kingdom Hearts Remind official trailer, Predator Honey Grounds, Babylon's Fall, which is from Square Enix and Platinum Games. They hinted this one at E3, but they showed actual gameplay of it, or idea of the gameplay, I should say. Resident Evil 3, Ghost of Tsushima, which we'll talk a little bit more. But yeah, it was 20 minutes of State of Play. So what are your guys' thoughts about it? And then we'll get into the question that Megan Green has asked.
To be honest, I didn't even watch it. I knew I just by the last few State of Plays, and I knew they were probably going to have something big, and I knew the Resident Evil 3 stuff had leaked, so I figured that was probably going to be part of it. But I don't know. I didn't watch it. I think the Ghost of Tsushima trailer was cool, and they then obviously continued at the Game Awards. There's something a little bit off about that game for some reason for me. Ed, you and I kind of talked a little bit about it before the show started. But I don't know. Resident Evil 3 looks cool, but I don't do scary games. Although Resident Evil 2 remake is $20 on Xbox, I might pick it up because I think I want to try it.
$15.99.
The deluxe is $20.
Ah, gotcha.
With the special things. I don't know what do you get special in that game. Skins, I guess. Costumes.
I guess.
So we'll see. But that was kind of it for me. I don't know. It's so hard to get excited for stuff now, especially now that we know what's coming. I don't know. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, to be honest with you. But ever since the State of Play started, it hasn't really done a lot for me anyway. And by the way, they did straight up rip off the Nintendo Direct presentation this time. Where the last couple, they've been kind of
the first time too.
Well, the first couple, they were like, oh yeah, this video thing works. We should just do that. But something about this presentation in particular was kind of oh, these transitions look familiar. Color swap blue.
Yeah. Ray, your thoughts?
I mean, this presentation was okay. This was Sony saying, we have to put something out before the end of the year because I said it before when we were watching it. I was like, after this is basically it. It's all PlayStation 5 and then the big games that are coming out next year for PS4, and that's it. I don't think they're going to talk much else about PS4 or anything, honestly.
Which I actually meant to ask you, and I think I asked you this, or I put it out there that I'm like, do you think PlayStation 5 is like Sony's going to return to E3?
I don't know about E3, but there's a chance. Absolutely.
Honestly, I think I don't know if they'll have like a conference like that. I think they're going to go the Nintendo route where they'll have a booth, but they'll have a state of play for E3.
I think that they're going to do another big PlayStation show, and that's what they've been planning.
What, like a PlayStation experience?
It's going to be like a earlier in the year PlayStation experience.
Yeah, that would make sense too.
You guys care about the PlayStation 5? Come see it. Come play it. We're going to get your hands on it. Like, that would be like probably one of the best things they could do to really get right back at Microsoft.
Because I think the transition with their leadership and stuff, I think that getting games ready for PlayStation 5, I think that's why they didn't do a lot of press conference and showcases and stuff in events this year. I think they were just getting
absolutely. They don't know what they want to be and how they want to present it, I think.
Which is weird to me. But Megan Green asks, "Hey guys, it's been a while since I wrote in last, but I am still an avid listener and love the new look of everything. We love you, Megan. What are your thoughts on the state of play as a whole? What was your favorite announcement here? Much love to all of you."
She's an OG.
Yes. Definitely for me, I'm excited for Dreams, and I was definitely excited to see Ghost of Tsushima. Babylon's Fall feels like it was just early in production in it, because like I was just like, I could see Astral Chain in this, and I see where some of that ideas from Astral Chain is in this game, but I'm waiting to see more of it.
It felt a lot more like Bayonetta in a medieval setting.
It looked more like Bayonetta and Spider-Man to me, is what it looked like. Which was like, just with the whole web, like the web mechanic looked really cool. I like it.
The web see, and that's where I think the Astral Chain part
guy
for me. Spellbreak looked like Overwatch with Harry Potter, and I was just like, not feeling this.
I played that. I played a few of their betas and their alphas, and like it's okay. Like it's fun. Like it's the only BR that allows you to fly, which is pretty badass. So I appreciate that. Like flying feels good, but it's only if you can find that equipment on the map. So
right.
Yeah. Paper Beast was weird. Kingdom Hearts,
absolutely.
Kingdom Hearts I'm not into yet because I need to beat the game, but I'm waiting for that.
I'm waiting for all that.
Spoilers, so I hope you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either, but I'm waiting for that whole.
I hope you didn't watch that trailer because it was full of spoilers.
What's with the spoilers? It's Disney in particular now. I got a really good friend of mine saying,
"Ray, don't watch this trailer. It's full of spoilers." And I said, "Okay, I won't watch it."
It's all these like Disney properties. What are they doing? Stop it.
But is it spoiler because you beat the game and then you
because for the end of the game.
I mean, because that's why me and Kirby was talking about with Star Wars, the Star Wars trailer. It's just like if you are a person who sees it not knowing, and none of your friends tell you that they have spoilers in it, you would just think it's a regular trailer.
Yeah, but for the Star Wars, for like the way they set up the spoiler in the trailer, like Ray said earlier, it looks like it's part of the game. But this is supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like when you get to the end of the game, it is a big reveal. Like it is a big reveal. And like if that's spoiled for you, if you're playing through the game and you get to the end of the game and you saw that trailer,
you have that idea in your head going through the game looking for it.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
Yeah,
even though you didn't expect, because your expectations was just like
it is a huge reveal the way they do it.
But when you watch it. But when you watch it, your expectation is that is part of the game. That is CG stuff of the story. And you don't realize it until you actually get to the end. And then you'll be like, oh, that was in it. Also, this is part of the trailer that was in this part of the game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, some people might see it that way, but I don't think that a majority of people see it that way.
No, I think.
saying that when you watch it for the first time, you don't know that any part of that could be in the ending. I
know we already talked about this, but the way the trailer sets it up makes it seem like it's going to be part of the game and part of the story of the game. And then but as somebody who played it first and then watched it, it totally just ruins the ending. It really does. Like it really does just ruin the ending.
Oh yeah, that might be no. It's like
playing the game first before watching the trailer is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the absolute value of the surprise.
Because you would think that, watching something as big as Star Wars, you will watch the trailer first.
Yeah, and that's the problem we're talking about, is like people are going to watch this trailer because they're excited for the game, not knowing that the ending of the game is in the trailer and that it's supposed to be a big reveal in the game.
But if they play the game not knowing about the trailer and then see the trailer, they would be like, "Oh wow, that part is in it."
As somebody who played the game before I saw the trailer and finished it and really loved the reveal at the end of the game, I would have been severely disappointed if I saw the trailer before finishing the game.
Yeah, because it spoils the end of the game.
Yeah. So, all right, but anyways, Kingdom Hearts. I'm sure it's probably the same way for Kingdom Hearts fans.
It is.
So, which I'm very excited that I'm very excited that all those games are coming to Xbox next year. By the way, I would be purchasing that story, like the whole package that they sold with all of them in it. I will be purchasing that. I will be like, whoop, thanks.
Yeah. I can respect state of play. At first it was just bad. It's been getting better over time, but
I mean, it's like anything you do. The first one's always going to be bad.
Yeah, but
remember our first podcast, Ed? It was bad. But you can listen to it now on your favorite podcast service of choice at Nintendo Power Block.
Yes,
advertising.
But I think got to get that plug in. I think there's still a problem with Sony not showing anything that's going to make us be like, wait, what? Or like, oh, that looks good. Because everything they show instead of play always feels like E3 trailer that they keep showing us CG and we want to see games. We want to hear people talk about stuff.
To me, the state of play is like, to me, just the way as someone who, used to edit a lot of video and is prepping a bunch of stuff to throw up on the YouTube page, like this looks like something that they are trying to perfect before the next system comes out so they can just straight up deliver it to you when the PlayStation 5 comes out. And they are trying to use the resources that they have, like the games that they haven't released or using some of these third-party things or something. Like they're trying to build something that like they don't have any surprises for us. So that I think that's what's making them not as eventful as, say, a Nintendo Direct, because Nintendo Directs always have like one or two surprises in them, right? And I think Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be that surprise, but it leaked, so it didn't hit as hard as we wanted it to, right? Like I think that was just like, that was supposed to be the surprise, and then a Ghost of Tsushima trailer, which was supposed to get you hyped for the end of the trailer during the Game Awards. And like those were the two things. And I don't think the Ghost of Tsushima thing hit as much as they wanted it to, and the Resident Evil 3 leaked just made that impact less effective. So that's my thought. But I'm saying, if they want to use this format going forward, I think they're just trying to find the right way to do it. So when they do have a state of play that's going to announce God of War 5 or Horizon 2 or, whatever else they're trying to work on, which, right now there's a rumor that Resistance could be coming back. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to perfect this so like when that moment happens, they can be ready and make it cool, right? Because Nintendo does a great job of making those things cool. So that just, and I'm trying to take our especially you and me, Ed, our love of Nintendo out of it, because everything they announce is exciting for us. I'm trying to look at it as like, okay, who's the basic consumer who's watching this Nintendo Direct, and like maybe there's one or two big surprises in there for them that they're excited for, because clearly not everything in every one of these videos, regardless of what company puts them out, is going to be exciting, right? It's just not. But as long as there's like 1, 2, or 3 things that you can get somebody excited for in these videos, then they've done their job. So
Yeah, and I like I said, I don't feel like State of Play is bad or anything. It just feels like some of the trailers feel like this could have been shown at E3 or something. This could have really got people hyped.
well, I think they're trying. I mean,
Meaning the fact that a lot of trailers at E3 is always CG. There's not much gameplay, and Resident Evil could have been a bigger splash if they show more gameplay. And
there's an 8-minute deep dive video on Resident Evil 3 now up on their YouTube page too now. So it's
on Capcom's or Sony's.
Probably both.
I think it's
Yeah,
Well,
it's also on Xbox's YouTube page too. So,
Ah.
but you know what I mean? Like it's. I think Nintendo, like the biggest thing I think is like when Nintendo a couple years ago did that big Smash Brothers deep dive during their E3 Direct, and like 80% of the audience just didn't care because they don't care about percentages or the patch notes or anything, and they kind of did that for Smash. And then when they announced Banjo, right? They announced Banjo, and then they had a whole separate video on, okay, this is the deep dive on Banjo, right? And I think that really worked for Nintendo. And I think once these companies start doing this more, and I have the same problem with Inside Xbox, right? I feel like it's like I like the idea of like a live show type thing, or like a very well produced show to give you like these are the personalities behind the company or whatever, right? But I think sometimes that those are actually way overproduced, and there's a lot of like, I don't want to say fakeness to it, but a lot of it just kind of really feels overproduced, and I wish they would kind of scale those back a little bit. But
Ray, your thoughts?
So State of Play is, like I said, they're still trying to figure out what they want State of Play to be.
Yeah.
They found that the Nintendo Direct is a good format that works, but they need to find a way to make it uniquely theirs. I get that. That'll take some time. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the decade. We're going into a new console generation. There isn't going to be a lot of crazy, oh my god moments, because why waste those at the end of the year? At least to me. I feel like something we're going to talk about with Microsoft. That was a smart move for them, but that's because of the position that they're in. That's just how it.
Yes.
With Sony going forward, I'm curious to see what they're going to do, and it's the weirdest thing because I actually can't really predict what Sony needs to do in this situation, because honestly, all they need to do for the PlayStation 5 is come in at a price point that is still cheaper than the Xbox, and they'll win again. Simple as that.
And I think it was like, I know we're going to get to this earlier, but I think, or later in the show, but I think it was smart that Microsoft did not announce a price.
Exactly. You wait, because that's the war right there.
Yeah.
You win that fight, that's the whole war.
I think Microsoft is still building. Microsoft is still getting stuff ready.
No,
I don't think so.
Phil Spencer said he's using
it as his house.
Yeah,
they are done with the
Xbox. But I'm saying they're planning, like they're getting their marketing stuff ready to roll. When it's ready to roll it out,
and I need you to know right now that they are done, and they just are ready to put it out. They're done.
I don't think they're done.
I think that they're done. They've been planning this since they initially lost.
I don't think they're done. I think they're still building because they want to go.
They have their message ready. They just have to put it out there.
Yeah,
I don't think
they have it already.
Ready yet.
This is not how it works, and it takes years of planning to get stuff like this ready.
They probably started working on this. They probably started working on this box when the Xbox One S came out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They've been working on this for a while.
All of that technical, all of that stuff is out.
The marketing also starts working about the same time as the box.
But you don't just
catch up. That's not how it works.
They're still. The thing about this, I think they're still working on their
tweaking their messaging and stuff.
They're just still building stuff to get like really explode everything about Series X, because as big as Phil wants to work with Japanese developers to get that takes time. And
they've been using that time already. That's what they've been doing the past 2 years.
And I think they're right. And I think they're still trying to build, because don't forget, Xbox is big in America.
So I see what you're saying, but I don't think that you're phrasing it correctly. I think what you're trying to say is that they still have things planned to show us that they haven't shown us yet.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean that they haven't planned it. They already have a plan.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They're still building on their marketing, trying to get everything.
I don't think that it's building. It's what they're doing is they're waiting to put out their messaging at the right time.
I think what they have is like, I think they have what they want to say ready. I think they're waiting for PlayStation's move so they can tweak it on the fly and just send it out when it's ready.
Well, I also think that they have prepared themselves to not have to do that. I think they've put themselves in a position where they won't have to do that.
Because
they knew how it happened last time.
I think over the last couple of years with, releasing the Xbox One X and building Game Pass and buying these studios and making Japanese relationships and just having, I think they are ready to just fire all their weapons when the time comes. They're going to be ready, and they're just going to
absolutely.
It's going to look like
how badly they lost. They're coming in as over prepared as possible. I think.
Yeah.
Because like when it comes to E3, that's when everything is literally going to be exploded.
Well, no, I think their marketing for the console is going to start before E3, and then when E3 comes,
it's already started. It's already started.
No, I mean I just mean you're going to start seeing ads before YouTube videos and all these things.
Absolutely.
You're going to see these big marketing pushes for the console right before E3, and then when E3 comes, they're going to drop the megaton of game bombs on you. They're going to show Halo Infinite, they're going to show Hellblade, they're going to show Forza, they're going to show FIFA and Assassin's Creed and whatever else. They're going to drop just a nuclear bomb of games on you.
Right, because I think that,
and I'm gonna be
if you look at the reveal of the Nintendo Switch, you wouldn't dare believe to be like, what the world is Nintendo? And then, but when they rolled out their message, first actually showing Switch and what the idea was, people got the concept of it and couldn't believe that Skyrim and Bethesda and all of this stuff coming. And then even when it came to the Japanese meeting, it was just like people were tuning in to see more about it. And I think that's what Microsoft did. They rolled out Series X, and then maybe a little bit down the line, they'll talk more, and then E3 ready to explode about games, actual gameplay, stuff that's going to look, price point, Game Pass, backwards compatibility, connected to controller, and all of that.
I mean, I think, I actually think in a roundabout way, they've actually started, really marketing the Series X before they even named it Project Scarlet, right? They're okay, so backwards compatibility, we're going to market that. These Bluetooth controllers, we're going to market that. We're going to start marketing Game Pass. And then they started talking about Project Scarlet. Oh yeah, everything's forward compatible and backwards compatible, right? We're doing that. Oh, the xCloud streaming stuff, blah, 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 blah. And now Series X is here, right? Or, revealed, right. Which we'll talk about later. Speaking of nuclear megaton of bomb games,
we have the indie highlight in this indie world. Oh, I literally exploded. Amanda Davis asks, "Hey everyone, I was wondering what you guys think of Nintendo's highlighted indies throughout the year. Do you think it's a great idea, or do you think separating them from the big games diminishes the work being done on them?" I actually could say that it's been working well with the Nintendo Directs, because the thing about it is, some Nintendo Directs also have indie games in them. So actually getting the first review or first viewing of these games and stuff, it's just so great to see that, they're starting off with Nintendo. People are going to get hyped about it. And then when you find out it's coming to other platforms, people will be like, well, I might actually double dip and get it for Sony or get it for PlayStation. Get it for Xbox. What I did like, though, about this one is that a lot of those developers who are making the games came out and introduced their game. So we got to see a lot of people who work at those developers and come in and introduce and speak on their game. Because Boyfriend Dungeon is, that's all me. But Ray, what are your thoughts?
This was okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it was the best thing that they've ever done. It was really nice to be able to actually see these devs and have them talk about their games. I love that aspect. I love that approach to this, because the indie games are more than the games, they're the developers as well, and these developers will be making your AAA games at some point. They will be. As simple as that.
Yeah. It's like Reggie said at the Game Awards. He said every single AAA developer started as an indie dev, right? Like,
so isn't it weird how that all worked out?
Yeah. Well,
so it's like they planned it.
Reggie doesn't even work there anymore. They planned it.
Oh, but they're still friends, and he's still a Nintendo man. So, but I really like that aspect of it. The lineup, not super keen on. I was like, there was some cool stuff. The best thing I saw was Streets of Rage 4. I want that so bad. I need children.
Yeah.
Oh, that looked incredible. But other than that, it was a good way for Nintendo to kind of round out the year, I think. Like, this is them saying, all right, this is what we have left to show you for the year. This is how we want to introduce you to these developers that you should know. And then just be ready for next year.
Yeah.
Exactly. They didn't really have to go big and bold because these are indies, and they know that the indie support on Switch is strong. And so why not get these people who are making new IPs, who are just new to the industry for a lot of people, why not get them excited by showing it off on Nintendo Direct? I mean, this indie world, because
yeah, I mean, honestly too, like a lot of indie games are also shown in Nintendo Directs also. Like, it's not like, I mean, I think these smaller indie ones are good, but like, I'm with Ray though. Like, I just thought it was okay. Like, I don't hate indie games, but like I find certain ones that I enjoy, and then like, I know the indies have their audience and everything. I just feel like a lot of the time it's just not me, right? Like I'm excited for Axiom Verge 2 because I love Axiom Verge 1, right? But I also love the original Metroid. So, and these games evoke a lot of that. So, like, I'll find that. And then Oddworld Stranger's Wrath is also one of my favorite games of all time.
And how many times can I buy that game?
How many times am I going to buy that game?
I've bought that game so many times.
Dude, I bought it once. I bought it on the original Xbox. I bought it on PS3. I bought it on the Vita. It's one of the few games I have on Vita.
Every time.
I only have that game on original Xbox. I never bought it on anything else.
But like everything else, like Streets of Rage 4 looks good, but like everything else was just kind of like, okay, I'm glad that this video and these games exist, and somebody will be getting these games. And
I felt that way too.
It's just one of those. I'm like, the most exciting thing for me was that Shovel Knight came out this week, so that's
And I gotta say that at least the lineup was varied for this, and I think that's the great thing about the indie world, and just like even their indie directs, that all of their games, most of that they show, feels diverse. There's a variety of different genres that's being shown. That even though that might not be for you or you think it's okay, it's good that they may have something in that show that is for you that you would like. Mm-hmm. So, and they always do that for the indie worlds.
And so I guess I want to answer the next part of Amanda's question is like, do you think it's a great idea for them to separate them? And I absolutely think so.
Yeah.
There are some times where you can add them in with the big games and they'll get lost.
Yeah.
Because there can be a huge...
big games get lost with big games, right? Like, let alone these small indie projects.
I love that Nintendo is giving indies, literally Nindies has a focus. They have their own show. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That shows Nintendo cares about these these indie developers, which is awesome. I love that they're propping up these developers, and I want to do that.
I think Nintendo realized how those indie games really Switch really just make the system what it is. They like.
I kind of see that in reverse. I feel like the Switch really started to sell these games more. Honestly, the Switch gave these games a new opportunity to do well, I think.
Well, yeah, I think it's because once kind of like Microsoft, it felt like Microsoft and Sony kind of lost not that desire, but that focus, and Nintendo kept that focus.
Sony, I kind of feel like definitely has, but like Microsoft, I just feel like whenever they talk about ID at Xbox, it's always like these games are being added to Game Pass, and like
one screen, it goes away.
Yeah, I downloaded My Friend Pedro and After Party off Game Pass, and there's something else indie that I downloaded recently. But like, at the end of the day, it's like, I didn't buy those games, and I mean, like, that's part of the reason why I kind of feel bad for Game Pass, but also, like, I wouldn't even give them those games a shot the other way around either, too, right?
I guess I still need to do some research. Just talking about Game Pass for 1 second is how the breakdown works for games on Game Pass and how the developers benefit from it, rather than just exposure. Because I'm sure they've kind of detailed it somewhere, maybe just at least a little bit. Because I think that Game Pass is still super good for these devs because, like you just said, you wouldn't have given it a shot otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it kind of works similar to like when they go free on Gold or Plus, right? Like they either get a lump sum or you get what Apple does is like playtime. You get a certain amount of money per game downloaded, and then playtime or whatever. Like I'm assuming it goes that way a little bit, but yeah, I'd be super super interested to hear like, and I know they're all under like NDAs and contracted not to say certain things and whatever, but I would really love to hear an indie dev just break down exactly what happened for them.
Well, I'm going to read this real quick, and then we're going to have a good probably about 30-minute discussion about the Game Awards and Series X, because I know, Corey, you got to head on out. Indie World, they showed Sports Story, the follow-up to Golf Story, Streets of Rage 4, Gleam Light, Bacon Switch, Super Mash, the Talon Principle Deluxe, Sail Forth, Dauntless, Murder by Numbers, Our World, Stranger's Wrath, Skatebird, Liberated, Boyfriend Dungeon. Oh, I expecting Ray to get that game and stream it. I'm so excited for you. What'd you say?
It's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait.
Yes. Boyfriend Dungeon, Dreamscaper, The Survivalist, and Axiom Verge. A lot of these games are coming out 2020. So do guys check out State of Play, check out Indie Directs, the Indie Highlight or Indie World. I'm sorry. If you missed it, like I think both showings were really good. There's just a lot of diversity, and can't wait for more stuff to come to 2020. So we're gonna move on to like the final part, which is the Game Awards. We're gonna touch a little bit about the announcement highlights, the Xbox Series X. They kind of had a little idea of Halo Infinite, Forza, FIFA, and they did announce Senua Saga. I thought it was Hellblade 2, Senua Saga. Is it switched around?
It's called, they put Senua's Saga first, and then the subtitle is Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2, okay.
Which I think...
That's what it's called.
Yeah, which I think was, I mean, from like a marketing standpoint, if you want this to be like an Xbox franchise, right? It seems like I was not expecting, like, just a quick thing, like I wasn't expecting a Hellblade sequel ever, right? But like,
it game still. I haven't played it.
I just re-downloaded it on Xbox. Because it's part of Game Pass, so like I do want to play through it and like try to get all the achievements, because you can get all the achievements in one playthrough, and I think the game's only like 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours. So I will be playing through that, but like just seeing that was incredible.
Everybody check out Pride and Play Season 4. Me and Corey did a discussion about Hellblade, so check that out. Going to get quickly, Deshaun Malone asked, I think the hashtag Xbox Series X is the real meat of this show, and if it's not, what are you even doing? Greg Schnobel, what do y'all think of the design of the Xbox Series X? And Legendary Vash asks, what are your expectations for the Xbox Series X games coming in the next years? He also asked, was the Game of the Year deserved to be the winner, or someone else should have had it? And the reason why I did those questions first is because we're just going to have a general question. Let's talk about Xbox Series X.
Yes,
kind of spend like 15 minutes about that. Sexy design. Love the design of the system. That green at the end, like, just the way that it glow. I'm like, oh yes, I need this. Like, sleek design, beautiful. Not so worried about the controller. The controller is a little bit of an upgrade, but it is what it is. I think you
should just be a real gamer and buy the Xbox Elite controller version 2, like Phil Spencer said.
We already had had a discussion on Nintendo Power Block, so everybody go watch that on how I feel about that. But I'm really love the design of the system, that you can play vertically or horizontal. You guys can read the Game Informer story. They got some details, and other outlets have been talking about it. but I think they're going in the right direction with this. But once again, they cannot make no mistakes like Stadia has made. I still don't trust the 4K 60 frames per second yet. And I'm only saying this yet because I need to see gameplay. I feel like the in-game engine is only running for cutscenes, but not actual gameplay. I think once I see, right? Once I see,
the thing for me with like the thing with the Series X, I love the design. Mm-hmm. I think it's simple. I think it's yes. I think it's just sleek. It looks like it fits in with like Home Assistants and like, you know, sleek designs and minimalist designs, which I really love. Like that's something that I would really like to do at some point, is just be like a minimalist at some point, as I look and see behind Ray, and there's just plastered with toys and stuff, which, to be fair, if you look
that's all I own, though.
If you look
Guess
at
what? That's literally it.
If you look at in front of me, like there's toys and stuff plastered and all over the wall too. But like, you know, the thing is like, I think the name is going to confuse some people. I think
Series X.
I think, you know, what Xbox already has a flagship called the Xbox One X, and this is called the Xbox Series X. And when someone goes in, you know, parents or grandparents buying this system for Christmas at some point, right? Like theoretically next year you're going to see Series X, Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Xbox One S SAT edition, and theoretically, if the rumors are true, it's Xbox Series S, you know, with like the less powerful version, right? Like you're gonna have 4 or 5 SKUs of Xbox, and I hope Microsoft really hits the messaging on this, right? Where it's like,
it's not hitting the messaging. It's going to be that consumers need to tell the parents or the people who are buying this what it is, and make sure that when they go into the store, like this is the thing. Write it down and go get it.
And I almost wonder if they're going to pull a Nintendo and actually pull, you know, inventory from stores, right? Like,
no, they'll sell all the inventory before they.
I mean, I don't think
before
they
anything.
sell out of Xbox S's or X's before then, but I think. You know, when Switch came out, you saw Wii U start disappearing very quickly off of store shelves, right? And I think they did that the same thing when Wii U came out, where you saw Wii's just quickly disappearing off store shelves. Yeah. And I wonder if they're going to do that just to make sure their messaging is even clearer than what they need to make it.
That they would do. That if they sell out all their Xbox One stuff, they're not going to get that much restock.
Which is why I think the Xbox One X's are $350, and you can get an Xbox One S for sub $150 if you look in the right places.
And like probably by March, or I would probably say by August of next year, Microsoft will start sending those consoles and start getting ready for Series X, unless they're trying to end their inventory, because that's what happened at Toys. When we were getting Xbox One, they started shipping out the last 360 ones. They stopped shipping it out. They didn't tell us they was going to stop or give us a cutoff date. They just stopped shipping it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to happen with Series X, and then Series X would be, once that's released, that's the current thing, and then no more other systems of the old one, unless they're going to decide to try to get their warehouse clean. But that's about it.
Yeah. I don't, but like in terms of the design and stuff, I love the design. I think, you know, it almost looks like a designer gaming PC almost. You know,
I said it looked like a speaker to me, like a real dope speaker.
I like the way the cooling system has the lighting on top, and like I wonder if you're going to be able to switch out colors or turn it off or anything. Like I think it is a sexy, sleek design, and I think it just works. You know, I was kind of confused at first. I'm like, man, they're standing it vertically, but also the 360 stood vertically. Maybe they just, I don't know, man. I like the design. I think it works, and can't wait to have one in my house.
Ray, I know you have thoughts, so go ahead.
He looks like he's about ready to just spew something out.
So I mean, the Xbox Series X this was a great time for them to show this. They need mind share going into 2020, and they knew this. Phil and his team. I feel like I told you, over prepared for this. They know that going into this next gen that they have to just do everything right. Everything has to be right. And for it to show up at the Game Awards, I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I had made a joke. I had made a joke earlier in the week that, what if they go and show the new Xbox? That'd be hilarious. But actually, no, they did it. And it was actually probably the smartest thing they could have done.
It was actually not hilarious. It was actually amazing.
It was
That's why I put on my Twitter. I'm like, I wonder what Microsoft is going to bring. Because I knew Microsoft had to bring something. I thought it would have been games, but I didn't expect it.
Had to bring something. And they had to bring the most important thing that they have. And they did. So with this, I love the way it looks. I've seen some people like, it's fun to make fun of things. Yeah, haha, the Xbox Series X fridge. Yeah, funny. But it actually looks much better than every other console I think we've gotten in the modern generation.
I think it's on par for me with the Xbox One X. I like the way the Xbox One X looks a lot.
I like the Xbox One X, but if you look at the way that this new one's designed, it's gonna look so much better.
Yeah,
I could say that it looks way better than anything of the PlayStation 4. Like,
I think the Kit Kat bar or the sandwich.
I think
Kit Kat bar, the Foreman grill,
since the Xbox 360 PS3. I think it is. It looks really clean. The word clean comes to mind. It looks very clean. I like it.
Yes.
People are like, oh, it's huge. I'm like, do you guys have gaming PCs? My gaming PC is massive,
but it's not though. Like the specs,
it's very small. Like from what we've seen, it's going to be small.
It's
just
smaller
take an Xbox One X and stand it up and fill it out a little bit.
Shorter.
That's it.
It's shorter than
it's going to take up less space. I think. Like I think it's going to actually take up less space than the Xbox One X currently.
It's shorter than the Xbox One X by like almost a half an inch.
So I think it looks awesome.
I think I'm gonna play it up vertically because of the space.
Of it. Absolutely, it saves so much more space.
I kind of want to see how it is horizontal and looking at it from top down, just to see how big it is to get an idea. But yeah, like playing it vertically, if it doesn't mess up any discs or anything, I'm cool with that because we don't know how many teraflops or anything. We don't know how much terabits is going to be for the hard drive or
2 terabytes. Microsoft.
Minimum 1 terabyte.
What?
Minimum 1 terabyte. If you're doing Game Pass, you better have 2. Like if you're trying to promote Game Pass,
I have a terabyte in this one, and it's still rough. So
I have an external. I have a 2 gig external, and a 2 terabyte external, and a 1 terabyte inside, and I have like 400 gigs left. I downloaded a lot off of Game Pass and EA Access, but
do you think they could actually do a Series X that's just cloud based? There's no hard drive or anything in it.
That's the rumored other system.
Maybe. Well, yes, like that's the rumor. So that's a change.
Because Ray, I agree with you. If you do disk based, do 1 terabyte because you could do an external hard drive right out the gate.
Yeah, but you still got to install.
True, that's fine. But if you do just like the digital version, but you have a hard drive with it, do the 2 terabyte. Because even though you're doing Game Pass still, since you're digitally downloading games and buying games that way, you're going to need more space. So offer that value to more people. And if they want to expand it, you still give them an external hard drive.
I think
I would do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I still think my heart tells me that they have a deal with Seagate to do Xbox branded hard drives.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that they're going to probably going to do a 1 terabyte console with an external.
I don't think they would do. I think the 500 gigabyte consoles are dead though. It's just standard. Everything's terabyte.
Yeah,
if they come out with a 500 gig console,
it's a waste of time. Don't do that.
Yeah.
By the time you even get done just installing the stuff to update the system, half your hard drive is gone.
Look, my friend has a 500 gig PS4, right? And he just said, he's like, I just bought the new Call of Duty. He's like, all I have installed on my PlayStation because I can't fit anything is Madden, Call of Duty, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are the 3 games he has installed. And he's like, there, I had to delete the other game I had so I could download an update for Netflix and Hulu.
Those 4K assets is going to kill.
Huge. They're going to be huge. So I'm hoping that there's a 2 terabyte option, but 1 terabyte standard, please. Please.
Yes. So
You think it's going to be SSD?
I think it has to be. I think they've confirmed that.
Yeah.
Let's touch on games for next year, or ideal of games for the system. Of course, I feel like
let's talk about that trailer first. That trailer, that reveal trailer. It was dude. I watched it like 10 times. I loved it. I loved the like guy coming through on like the old timey speaker talking about stuff, and like the water like going through that and stuff, and like just having. When you came out of the water and they had just like probably what I'm assuming is going to be Forza Motorsport 8 and then FIFA,
absolutely.
Like FIFA and then like Master Chief at the very end was like, I mean, that's very smart. I just love the design, like just the way the trailer flowed. I loved it. You know,
it worked out great.
Yeah. It takes you on the roller coaster of the unknown. You don't know what really is going on until you start seeing the games and be like, because like I didn't know what was going on until they did the shot of Master Chief, and I'm like, oh, because it could have been like for a PC chip or something. It could have been anything. And once they showed Master Chief, I'm like, oh, Microsoft. And then when they showed the system, I'm like, that's cool.
Honestly, I thought it was
that
at first I thought it was like going to be like an EA Access commercial, because they showed the car. I'm like, okay, well that might be Need for Speed, and then they showed soccer. I'm like, okay, well that's clearly FIFA, right? And then like Master Chief was the clear thing. I was like, what are they doing here? And then you see like the square box come out, like clear box out of the water, showing like the games in the box out of the water, right? And then they showed the box, and like it took me a minute. At first I thought I was like, are they like promoting Xbox on PC or something? And then, no, it was the box. And I was like kind of stunned that they did this at the Game Awards, right? Because like, I know we kind of talked about it already, but like, I thought they were going to do like their own like kind of reveal event, right? This is similar to what PlayStation 4 and Xbox One did, right? Where they just kind of like do a reveal event. Here's the console, right? Like talk about it. But like you said, Ray, the position they're in and the position that Sony's in and Nintendo are in, like, Microsoft kind of had to do it here to make a big splash with this thing.
Well, like I said, that they're holding the Game Awards at Microsoft Theater.
Yeah,
why would you not reveal something?
I know, but that
I'm just saying
really
that why not reveal anything, Microsoft? Where this is your theater that they're having this awards in. You got to show something. You can't be outdone by PC, Indies, Nintendo, Sony. That wouldn't make no kind of sense at all.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Nintendo outdid anybody at the Game Awards.
Oh, shoot. Nintendo was not participating at all.
Which was actually like, surprising because they've been there like the last couple of years, you know? But anyways, I thought the trailer was cool. And like, you know, just talking about the games, the launch games, like considering that, you know, Halo is probably going to is a day one launch title. They've all but confirmed, right? Like they said they wanted to hit launch with Halo. And Forza clearly going to be a launch title because there's always a racing game at launch, and you know, showing what I'm assuming is third party support with FIFA, like,
which is expected. But
I really think Xbox is going to have a great launch lineup.
Everybody loves an underdog story.
Yes,
this is going to be a good time.
Yeah. Well, it depends of how strong their first party is going to be.
Well, we saw it. Halo, Forza, Hellblade 2. Strong enough for me.
I mean, that's the game.
Absolutely, I think we will stuff. If they don't crazy, there will be more stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, because like me and Jesse was talking about this. I'm like, I want to see what, like, if they could get at least about 5 or 6 games for release. Because I'm like,
well, I think for launch with Halo and Forza, I don't think Hellblade's going to be ready at launch. I think that's going to hit that. You know, when Second Son came out for PlayStation 4, right? Like that kind of March, April window. I feel like if Microsoft gets like one more first party game in there, maybe not like a big one, but maybe something like, I don't know, Psychonauts 2 or something to that effect in there.
I think there's something like their smaller games would be part of the launch lineup.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they
I'm
get
with-
one more,
That's what I was about to say. Part of the 6 games, like
I'm
do
expecting some
3
new-
big ones and
like
then
some-
like 3 small ones.
What'd you say,
Go
Ray?
ahead.
I'm expecting 3 big new IPs, like big ones that are gonna blow us out. You know, it's the tech demo stuff. It's the stuff that's gonna be visually stunning and can show that this was what the machine can do.
Yeah.
We should expect those, but I feel like they're gonna be good this time around.
But then who?
not Rise.
But then who does it? Like
Any of the
does
studios that they have under their belt already.
Rise 2.
well
Recore.
because
I hope
the
not.
coalition
I hope.
because the coalition would they'll be doing Gear 6.
well, they're
that's
doing
the
Gears
give.
Tactics right now.
Yeah, they're doing Gears Tactics right now, which I'm
Which-
sure is a much smaller team.
Did
Which
they
actually-
confirm?
right.
Did they confirm that's coming to Xbox yet?
I
No,
don't
it's
think
on the
they've
console.
confirmed it.
It's
Yeah,
on the,
I think,
no, it's on the PC.
I think PC currently.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
what you're saying, like, who does the big next IP? Because the coalition will be out of it because
Well,
they'll be doing Gear 6.
It's either going to be
Uh,
a Playground who's rumored to be doing Fable, or they haven't shown anything of what the initiative is doing.
right, and the initiative might then be the new ones, the
Well,
one to
I
do
bet-
the new IP.
I bet they tease what the initiative is doing at E3, right? Not for
Potentially,
launch,
yeah.
but this
Because
is what's
if
coming
they-
from our big new quadruple A studio, as they call it.
Right, because if they want that narrative, story-driven games that they talked about, like Horizon, if the initiative can deliver that would be a huge win for them. Because Forza Motorsport 8, yes, that's a great game, but then
Yeah, but I feel like
Horizon has more power over just the Motorsport ones.
I
in a sense.
feel like Forza has just been it's just been so good for so long that nobody
Yes.
talks about it, right? Like it's just that, and like
You know exactly what to expect.
yeah.
And before we go on, everybody, the expansion pack for the Battle Royale for Forza 4 is live, so you guys can go and download that. It's a free download. I haven't got it yet.
Oh, that
'cause
racing battle royale
Yeah.
inspired mode that they said.
Yeah, that one looks fun, looks funny. I'll probably report on it next week when we come back. I just didn't pop in my Forza 4 to download it yet. But
I
could
re-downloaded
go
that
ahead.
too.
I just want to get that out. That's
Like,
quick news.
everything like I've been playing a lot of Reach this week too, and like just everything in that trailer made me want to play like the previous versions of these games. Like I said earlier, I re-downloaded Hellblade because I want to remember that game, right, and like really just pick at it, because like the last time I played it, it was not in a very good, like I didn't really wear headphones, I didn't have a lot of good sound, that kind of thing. Reach multiplayer is very good. The Master Chief Collection is seemingly a lot better than it used to be. Even Halo 5's multiplayer is still stellar. I need to finish Gears 5, but Gears Tactics made me really want to finish Gears 5, right? Like all these things I saw, I just was like, Xbox has me excited for games. That's what this announcement did. It made me excited to be a primarily Xbox player. It just did. And even with the Hellblade 2 announcement, like it just got me really excited to play games on Xbox. And I think that's what they were trying to do, and it really worked for me.
It didn't excite me because I already know that I wanted the Series X. When I seen it, I'm like, I already want this.
I agree with you in that aspect, but like,
yeah,
just the way the trailers were put together and Phil coming out and giving that speech about what they want to do with the future of Xbox and just talking about the system and everything, like this whole kind of package that they did at the Game Awards just had me excited. And it's been a while since I've felt that way. And like, I don't really know why it's been a while since I felt that way, but it just had me excited,
I know for me that Microsoft wanted me back to their system because of Xbox One. They lost me with 360. Xbox was really fine. They lost me with 360 because of all of their problems, but won me back with Xbox One because everything just felt better with more of the third party stuff and then over PlayStation. And so this already, so I already knew that when they announced this next system, I'm already gonna go back to them because they won me over with Xbox One. So I know we gotta head out. Thoughts about the Game Awards?
I mean,
itself.
we got a little time.
Well, question I want to ask you, Ray, and this is going to be like kind of a hypothetical. If Xbox is able to connect Series X, Windows 10, and Steam, what does that? And because you do a lot of PC gaming too, what is your idea of if they could get that connected? What happens with that? Like if some of their exclusives show up on Steam. But also could be like, oh, you bought it on Steam. Oh, so okay, you connected to Windows 10 and your Xbox One. That you guys can play digitally.
I don't think that they need Steam, to be completely honest. Steam is nice. It's good. It's like, yeah, they can put their games there. But I want them to keep focusing on kind of what they are now with the Windows and the Windows 10 and Xbox integration. Like,
I feel like sorry, just to interrupt you for a second. I feel like they started putting their games on Steam just to have that extra revenue source if somebody wants to buy it there.
I mean, let's be honest. People are more and more, I mean, on the internet, more likely to be like, yeah, I don't want to buy a console. I have a PC. Y'all. So, which is fine. Like, go buy the Xbox games on PC. They exist there. You have that option now, which is fine. I appreciate that those folks have that option. But when it comes to wanting to have cross-platform, I mean, it works between the consoles. Like, yeah, PC is there, and it's fine. But
really,
it's more important to me.
And really, it works for PC. It really works for Windows 10 and Xbox itself. If they continue, if you buy their first party on PC, you already get it also on the console.
Yeah.
So if they could do that, if they could do that for Series X, still, that's still a big win for Microsoft.
Oh, and I think
without no doubt.
I mean, we've already seen it. Microsoft tripled down on their services, and that's what's made me more interested in the Xbox infrastructure is because of their services. Their services are fantastic.
Yeah,
their apps. I use a Windows 10 PC. I really like the idea of xCloud and how they're going to implement that. Yeah. Those services have sold me on their ecosystem.
Which I think is part of their marketing thing. They're going to literally blow out at E3. So I think once they're out of beta and they got all the feedback, they could tweak stuff, get it ready. I think when Series X gets more detail at E3 and then it actually releases, cloud is ready to go. It's connecting to, if you still are gaming on Xbox One, you get cloud also, and you could just interact that way. And then for the future, they just improve upon. I mean, that's
the idea,
what
right?
they got.
I think so. Like, I honestly think that, cloud isn't ready yet, and cloud's going to be a work in progress for a long time, which is good. It'll work.
I mean, the way Jesse's been talking about it, though, like, it just works for him.
It works, but from what I've seen, from the professionals who have been, like, rating and testing it, like, it works, but it will infinitely be better as time goes on.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be so much better. And for the first real test of it in the public, yeah, it works, but that's because Stadia doesn't work, and we know what doesn't work versus what does work now.
and like I said, that's my concern with the 4K 60. I really hope once the games are running, once I actually see the games, even if I have to go to the Microsoft store and get that on my hands on and see that it's working right now, the 4K 60 doesn't excite me. But once I see it working and Microsoft is really committed, then I'm going to be more excited for that 8K 120. I'm like, because y'all promised this, y'all delivered on the promise, and if y'all could deliver on the 8K 120, then Series X is going to be more. It's going to make me more happy that I own.
Look, if they can just hit like a promising 60 frames per second and just like stay there, right, and like visually just be nice looking. I
don't care. All I want is 1080p 60 and no texture pops.
Yes,
that's all I want.
That's what all about I want 14? Also.
That's all I want.
Would you do 1440p if they could do it and 60?
I mean the Xbox One X does that now. Right?
Yeah, like
1440.
I mean, the Xbox One X, at least first party wise, like they do 4K 60.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so you don't have to choose the resolution
No.
versus
Yeah,
they
No,
choose
and,
it
and
automatically
third
does.
third
Okay.
party third parties doing the you choose your performance or resolution modes, just
But
because
actual
I think that's because they have to, build those games for so many different platforms that, it just makes
because
sense for them. Whereas like the way that Microsoft builds their game, they're just dynamic, right? So like if you
yeah.
can't hit, like Halo 5 is the example I point to all the time, where like, on
Uh,
she's
before you go, Corey, because Gears 5 and Forza 4 looks phenomenal, which is running on a one.
Mhm.
I mean a One
Yeah.
X, and to see those games on Series X, if they're more detailed, oh my baby girl, to see that more detail, like 40K running X60, I probably would drop my jaw and be like, this is great art direction. Yeah, really.
I
Because
wouldn't say
right,
Andre. I would say the technology is there now that we can actually
yes.
have this happen
Because
and it works.
because right when we was having our talk about Gears 5, did we talk about how
It's a gorgeous
detailed
game.
they're gorgeous?
It's gorgeous.
It's literally crazy, and I want to see it on. I want to see it on XO, and hopefully that kind of gorgeousness is shown on Series X. That's
Yeah.
all.
I hope so. I hope so. So it looks like a good step. This looks like a generational leap forward, I think,
Yes.
which is good. And that's what I was worried about. We had the mid steps with the X and the Pro, which I appreciate. So it looks like they were actually going to get a generational step forward with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So
Right, and-
I'm excited.
Right, and that's why I said if Microsoft could deliver on that 4K 60 with actual games, not just in-game footage, not cutscenes or anything. If I'm doing some Devil May Cry stuff and it's fluid, I want to see that. I'm like, yes.
I'm gonna go out on
now
a limb.
that's
And I'm gonna go out on a limb and trust them and be like, we're gonna
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah, I said a couple like on Twitter and stuff, like I'm saving for a new TV because mine's 11 years old, right? Like it's time. I'm saving for this new box. Hopefully, someone who's related to me and is very nice will get me one for like a birthday or Christmas next year. Mom.
I was to
But
say me.
I mean, Ed, I'm not going to tell you no if you buy me an Xbox Series X. I'm just not going to tell you no.
You told me no about some other gifts and I still sent it to you.
I did, but this one's important for the show.
This one's important.
This one's work related. But like
That is true.
I want, as long as I have like a smooth, fun experience where everything just kind of works the way it's supposed to,
Yes.
and like I have a good time. Here's the thing. Here's how I rate it. If I don't notice it, it's doing its job, right? Flawless frame rate, nice resolution. I don't care if it's running at 1080p, 1440p, 4K. I don't care. As long as it looks nice, I'll be good to go, right? Like, and as long as the
Yes.
games are good and I'm having a good time, like if Halo Infinite is good and I'm having a good time, that's all I care about.
Which I believe Halo Infinite is it won't be a perfect 10. I think it'll probably be a 9 or something. Due to the fact we haven't seen much, but that would
That'll
of course
change,
it's
though.
my draw to buy Series X is to get Halo Infinite, and then whatever else wants to come along with it, that's what I'll get. Like Halo Infinite is leading for game wise, is leading me to get a Series X.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Halo. Like I said, Halo 5's campaign was fun, right? I mean, it's always fun to shoot aliens and stuff, but like the story wise, it was pretty disappointing from a series that has been known for a compelling story and their campaigns. Like I even really loved Halo 4. Like I said, it flops between Halo 3 and 4 for me for my favorite Halo, but Halo 5 was disappointing. And if they can get that story back on track and deliver the multiplayer experience that Halo 5 had, or something comparable, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna keep playing Halo. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes. So let's just get a little bit into the actual Game Awards. What are your thoughts about the awards that's winning? And we're definitely, when Jesse get back, everybody, I think we're gonna have a good show talking more about Series X.
Yeah, because we don't have the time to deep dive into the Game Awards now.
Yes,
Considering
yes, but like
in 5 minutes, but
yeah, but I do want to hear what he has to say about Series X and just the things that can come out of it.
Yeah.
We might get some more news and everything. But did you guys enjoy the Game Awards? First off, I did. I had fun.
It's always fun. I think people have way too many expectations for the show. And I'll tell you right now, it had more reveals than almost E3. So I was like, we can't say that it's not a contender for a show that you should be watching as a gamer.
We saw our first PlayStation 5 game. We saw our first Series X game. Like we saw.
Was Godfall the first PlayStation 5 game?
Godfall was the first official PlayStation 5 game.
Okay.
Yep. So no, it was good. Like I enjoyed it. It was a fun time, and I want the Game Awards to keep growing and do better. Same for the industry though. I want the industry to keep growing and do better. So it seems like the Game Awards keeps growing and doing better, but the industry isn't. So that's a conversation for another time as well.
I mean, rising tide raises all boats, right? So if everybody's doing well, then there's more competition, and the games will be better. And like we said, there.
Yeah, and congratulations, Ray, for the game that you didn't want to win, not winning because you was happy.
Jump Force didn't win, and I'm glad. Jump Force did not deserve to win Fighting Game of the Year, and that did not happen. So good. I'm glad Fighting Game won.
Before we go, category that you happy that a game did win in it. For me personally, it was Grease for best new direction. I'm just glad that Grease really won an award in this Soul show. Like I literally was going to burst into tears because I love Grease. I wish it would have won best new art direction, but it didn't. Santa Monica, still, I'm putting it out there. They need to use this art direction for some indie game or a new game or something, because I think they would be.
I think they need to do
like phenomenally.
Like you bringing that up, I think if they use that simple art direction to tell like how Kratos got from Greece to where are we in this world?
I know what you.
Yeah, like just like a simple like 1 hour experience. Like I think that would be kind of interesting.
Or, yes. It would be. You're right.
Or like to tell that, like even tell a Horizon story, like in between 1 and 2, like that could be cool too.
Be smart.
Yeah,
I dig.
Ray, what one game that you happy that won the category?
That one category, probably. This is cheating. Like a narrative for Disco Elysium, that was a big deal. It went up against a lot of big heavy hitters. For that game, that's impressive.
Did you play Disco Elysium?
Disco Elysium is a game that's literally a game I'm about to start. Like it's been something that I'm like, I just need to start it. Like I'm already set to play it. I just need to start it.
I heard about it on Zero Punctuation because nobody was really talking about it. I just didn't hear nothing about it.
My timeline is always talking about this game.
I
bet it comes to console next year.
It is. It's coming to Xbox and PlayStation in November. We don't know if it's coming to Switch yet, but
so I'm excited.
Yeah.
But Sekiro taking Game of the Year was a shock to me because I just literally had no idea that game had as much garnered attention from critics as it did.
I wonder. I mean, just based on the games that were there, like I wonder if the votes were just so split that like it just, it.
I think so because the way the Game Awards is broken down is 90% the judges and 10% the fans.
Yeah.
And so I'm shocked. Like it's I'm like well deserved.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was either going to be Resident Evil 2 or Control. Just I
expected RE2 to win this one.
Yeah, I really expected Resident Evil 2 to win this until like I saw some major outlets start giving Control their Game of the Year, and I'm like, oh well, it'll probably be between Resident Evil 2 or Control, and then, well,
I think Sekiro was the right choice out of all of this.
I mean, any of them could have been the right choice.
Yes. Death Stranding, Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding would have been
Smash Brothers would not have been a good choice. I'll be very honest about that.
You know what? I think Smash would have been a good choice too.
I think so. I think because last year there were so many games that were just better than Smash Bros. It's the best Smash Bros.
But I think Smash Brothers
that good of a game.
I think Smash Brothers as a love letter to video games and as like a musical library and just a very good Smash game is a great Smash game.
I
Like,
disagree.
compared to all
but
those other games, nah.
I disagree.
Incoming
That's
call
okay.
from Nintendo super fan Edward Parnell. Super Smash Brothers best game ever.
I think because of how I think Smash kind of was talked throughout the year and just reveals and the trailers and how hype people were and how it still is selling and people were picking switches to get that and people buying the DLC because of the characters.
You could say that about Mario Maker. You could say that about
Zelda.
You could say that about Mario Kart.
Should be saying it about Pokemon because it's the best-selling Switch game, but I digress.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I think Sekiro is like just with the arguments and how the way people are on the internet with social media. I think Sekiro kind of deflated all of that, and so it made the right choice. Because Control, yes, I think Control, Smash, and Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro. I think those 4 choices. What was the other game? Was it just Death Stranding?
Death Stranding.
Okay, I think the other four of them did fantastic. They could have earned it in their own rights. Is what I'm saying. Nothing Death Stranding. Okay, yes, I know everybody. So that is going to be the show. Corey, what was your choice before we go? What was the one game in a category that you happy won?
I mean, I agree with you. I think Greece was the first game I played this year, and it was I had a phenomenal experience with it, and the music was fantastic. As someone who used to call himself an artist, I haven't really done a whole lot in recent memory, but like. I just love the way that game looked, the painterly feel, the lines mixed with the watercolor, mixed with like the blending of colors, just felt really good to watch it, right? And a lot of the things that game was just very, very good. So I'm glad they won a couple awards last night. So.
All right. So everybody, just to give you guys heads up, next week we'll be talking a little bit more about Series X, and we will be having our our Game of the Year discussion. Who will win? Who knows? Due to the fact that the week after is the week of Christmas and going into New Year's, we kind of want to rest and play all our new games and gifts that weekend. So next Saturday, who will be Boss Rush Games Game of the Year?
Yeah, and there's going to be a poll up on social media too for you guys to vote. So if you go to Twitter or our Facebook group or our Facebook page, there's going to be polls for you guys to vote because your votes are going to factor into our Game of the Year as well. So
yes. So with that, everybody, Ray, where can we find you?
Just look for Ray Apollo, no space, and you will find me. Guaranteed.
Yep, no chickens.
Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at CoreyNHD713 on Twitter and CoreyNHD on Instagram, Mixer, and Twitch.
You can find Jesse at FencerNXS. I believe that's this. And you can find me on Twitter at that Retro Code. You can check out Optional Opinion on your podcast apps, and you can find more of Boss Rush Games at Boss Rush Games on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and other outlets. So with that, everybody, please join us on the Facebook community. Talk about games, and as always, let's just continue to play games and be better. With that, everybody, we will see you next time on Boss Rush Podcast. Bye, everybody. Bye, Riley.
Bye.
Bye.